Hi, this is Eric Loffham. I want to welcome all of you to our weekly continuous sales improvement radio show, coming to you live every Monday at noon Pacific, streaming on Facebook Live. Great to have you on the show today. I have a tremendous guest today. In my view, she is the top how-to public speaking sales trainer in the world. Somebody who comes in there, helps you learn how to go out there and speak on camera, on Facebook Lives, webinars, Zooms, front of the room speaking. She's been doing it now for nearly 2 decades. I'm joined today by international trainer RV Robinson. RV, welcome to the show.
Hi, Eric. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's great to be with you today.
Yes, this is exciting.
Woo-hoo. Yeah, we are official. We're on the internet with our radio show, and great to be with you. And I have a theme that I'd like us to work on today.
Okay.
And the theme is to all of our listeners and people watching us all over the world, to deliver a message around public speaking, which includes the Zooms and the Facebook Lives and the podcasts and all that, a message of you can do it. Because I think a lot of people out there, when they hear about public speaking, Facebook Lives, group presentations, they kind of freeze up because, as you know, public speaking is a major fear for so many people. Right. So what do you say we have that be our theme today?
I love that theme. That's a great theme.
Awesome. So why don't we get started and have you tell everybody a little bit about your story. How did you become international public speaking trainer, one of the best in the world, RV Robinson?
Well, I worked for corporate America, and my boss came to me one day and told me to get out and speak and share this new service that we were offering. And so I took one speech class in college, and I thought, piece of cake, I can do this. And I went out there and I failed miserably. I didn't know what I was doing. I thought just because I could speak and flap my jaw that made me a public speaker, and it didn't. And then one day this woman comes up to me and she says, honey, I hate to tell you this, but after every sentence you say, okay. And that's when I got it, that I needed to respect public speaking and get trained. I did. And then the most amazing thing happened. The better I got, the better my clients got, the better my opportunities got. I used it for upward mobility to, rise in the firm I was in. And so I did that for about 27 years. And then I started teaching my colleagues, and, I just went from there. And then after about 23 years, I realized I was at the very top that I could be in the firm. I was working with CPA firms in their systems department. And so I knew it was time to make a change. I didn't know what to do, so I did what any smart girl would do. I prayed about it. And it wasn't long before God gave me the answer. He said, public speaking. And so 17 years ago, to this day, practically, I left corporate America, started my own business, and I've trained 5,000 business owners since that time, given over 3,500 speeches all over the world, and just, teaching people how to pivot and go from live speaking to virtual speaking. And, it just goes on and on.
Fantastic. Well, nowadays, speaking has really changed since COVID-19 came out, of course. And almost all my presentations, and I know yours are as well, are virtual, just like what we're doing right now. And this has created an opportunity, I think, for just about anybody to get in the speaking game and get their message out. So
yes.
What advice would you have of somebody who's watching this and they go, I'm afraid of being on video, on a Facebook Live or public speaking. Sure, that sounds great, but it's just not for me. Or podcasts, I seem a little overwhelmed. What advice would you have for
Well,
an entrepreneur business person watching this right now?
I would say that forget all those things because you have a message to share that only you can share to people that can only hear it from you. And that message will save somebody's business, their life, or even their soul. And you're the only one that can do that. And if you don't deliver it, it will be undelivered for all eternity. And that means those people that needed to hear it, they go on suffering. So it's bigger than your fear. It's bigger than, being scared to speak. You have to get past it. Get trained and get past it and go out there and save lives for a living.
You make a really great point there about how everyone that's watching this right now, you have a message that others can hear, but they can only hear it from you. You were the
Right.
person that was meant to deliver that message. And if you don't get that message out there, there's a number of people that you would have had the opportunity to impact. Now, this radio show, it's called the Continuous Sales Improvement Radio Show. And the concept behind it is that the skill sets that we talk about on the show are learnable skill sets. So would you say that public speaking is a learnable skill and the technology to do public speaking, is that really learnable?
Absolutely, absolutely. So the public speaking is absolutely learnable. Now, what I do a little differently than some is I teach people a system, a public speaking system. I have systems for everything because I came out of the system world. My degree's in information systems. So when I came out into this business world, the entrepreneur world, there were no systems for speaking. So I started creating them back, 17 years ago. And what I find with systems is that it allows the beginner and even the pro to follow a proven system that is persuasive, that teaches you how to be a persuasive speaker, which is what you need to do to get business and attract clients. So a system is proven. So my beginning students get the same results as my seasoned students. So that's what I recommend. Get trained, find someone, learn their system, get that proven results, and get out there as soon as you can.
Yeah, and I know the way that you teach speaking, it's really about integrating it in with your business
Right.
to get your message out to the world, to generate leads, set appointments, close business, as opposed to like a Toastmasters, which is just teaching like just technique. And I know that you teach speaker techniques as well. One of the things that you've done is built up an email list, and I know that you've used speaking as a way to do that. I think that's a pretty powerful system that you have when you speak to build your email list. How do you do that?
Well, when we spoke live, it would be easy. We would do a raffle, give something away, explain the value of the raffle, collect business cards, pick a winner, and there you have it. But now in the virtual world, it's different. We used to get 99 at least % of the room give us cards. Now it's different. So I teach about 5 different ways that you can start gathering the email information in the virtual world, but it's not 100% like it used to be. It's only about maybe 50%, maybe 25%, but you still want to do it. Every time you speak, you want to have some sort of invitation to take the next step with you. Whether you're going to do a giveaway, send them to a link, send in your calendar link and have them set up the appointment that way. You want to do something like that. And yes, this world is totally changed in terms of how we speak. Now we are responsible for everything. It used to be when we would step on stage, nobody blamed us if the lighting was bad or if the sound was bad or anything. But now we know that the speaker is in control of everything. And people will judge if they can't see you. They're not going to build rapport with you. If you sound bad as a speaker, they're not going to invite you back. So it's really important not only to learn how to create a presentation, but how to speak in this environment. Because I have a feeling we're going to be here for a while. And even if we're not, We're going to choose, because one of the best things with speaking today is that it's just the world has opened up. I mean, I went the other day and I spoke in, I spoke in Paris, France, and I didn't even have to get a plane ticket. It is the most amazing. I just spoke in Las Vegas. So there's more speaking opportunities, Eric, now than ever before.
Well, you make a really great point, because even when the vaccine comes out and they get COVID under control, I think what people have discovered is, hey, we can do virtual meetings and we don't always have to meet in person. And that's not going to change,
No.
And so for those of you watching on Facebook, I'd love for you to comment in the chat on the best ideas that you're learning. I'd also love for you to smash that share button and share this great content out so other people can enjoy it. And our theme today is I Can Do It, and as it relates to public speaking. So if you're on the chat, whether it's on YouTube or Facebook, or if you're on a chat right now, I want you to type in the chat right now, I can do it. Because if that thought pops in your mind and that seed grows, this could be a life-changing radio show for you, because you can get out there and you can do it. Now, Arvi, you were talking about having a call to action. And I was referencing the, building an email list. What are some other call to actions that people can do to grow their business?
Well, there's several in the virtual world. I'll just stick to that one. So if you want to grow your business, you want to do a strategy session, discovery session, you want to do a one-on-one, it's really easy. All you have to do is, for your call to action, or for your, what I call an invitation, is to put your link, your calendar link, in the chat box and invite people that want a 30-minute strategy session with you or one-on-one to schedule it. It's that easy. If you don't have a calendar link, put your email address in the chat box and have them email you and request an appointment with you, and you can, exchange that way, make phone calls. But I see it's that one-on-one appointment where you get them on a Zoom call or on a phone call, and you can ask them questions, find out how you can serve them and whether or not you can, and then close them for the sale. So that's one of the best strategies that you can do, because you're not going to get 100% of the email list anymore. So you might as well just go for the business and go for the one-on-one strategy sessions.
Yeah, and what we're talking about here, guys, this is life-changing stuff for your business. We're talking about an integrated approach. So you do the speech, it drives opt-ins to your email list, it drives consultations to you. In some cases, we can sell from the front of the room, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. I was on a podcast with a gentleman named Onyx Segal, and he interviewed me. It's been several months, and Arvi, I forgot about it. And then today I checked my email inbox, and there was all these people asking me for my free course. I was kind of puzzled by it. And I realized Onyx podcast launched today on YouTube. And so it already had like 200 views, and I had made a call to action at the end. Email me if you want this free course. And so all these people were emailing me. So months ago, I recorded this podcast interview. There's a call to action, and the leads come to me. And I know that, you're just brilliant at teaching people this integrated approach. And we'll get to closing from the front of the room in just a little bit. But let's talk about when you did the multi-speaker events. You used to do those weekend events, and I came and spoke at a couple. I know you had Mark Victor Hansen. Are you comfortable sharing how much revenue you were able to generate? Like the biggest weekend event you ever did, are you comfortable sharing how much revenue came in?
Sure.
Yeah.
So that event, the multi-speaker event, I used to, it's called Speak Your Way to Wealth, and I did that. Oh boy, well, in the beginning, so 15, 16, 17 years ago, and it ran for about, I think, 5 or 6 years, and we would make at least minimum $100,000 in the weekend. And again, that's 15 years ago. Yeah, 15 years ago. Yeah.
Guys, think about that. $100,000 in one weekend. I mean, that's just mind blowing. what
Yeah.
Arby was able to do, and it's because of this integrated approach. It wasn't just this random thing that she invited a bunch of speakers and the speakers showed up and $100,000 came in. It was very strategically planned out, and how the speakers, what were they going to offer, and the marketing. I mean, you would market that pretty much year round, correct?
Yes, yes. Especially back then in those days. Yes.
Yeah. So when you train with RV and she works with you, she knows so many tricks and tips and strategies and how to integrate this into your business. And, for the right person, adding public speaking could mean an extra $100,000 to you. It could mean an extra $500,000. It could mean an extra $1 million. I mean, this is big, big money. And, a lot of you watching this, you've never done speaking, so you don't really have a context for it. But I'm telling you, just regular people can bring this into their business and have the leads come in, just like turning on the faucet to have leads come in. My battery may have died, unfortunately. So can I? Well, if the battery's dead, it's not going to go.
Oops.
All right. Well, RV, we're talking about now closing, selling from the front of the room. Can you give us a couple tips about closing from the front of the room?
Yes, I would love to because I
And
have been
virtual too, same thing.
right, and I have been practicing. So what I have found, the secret sauce is this. The secret sauce is you need to increase the value and decrease the price, and you will sell all day long. So that's the secret that I have found, and there's just a right combination. You don't want to like give too much stuff because then it can be overwhelming. Like just load them with a bunch of bonuses, just a couple of bonuses, whatever you're selling, and again, just drop the price to a super super great deal.
Yeah, and it depends. Like a real estate agent is not going to sell a
Right.
listing from the front of the room, right? They're going to generate a lead for their email list, or they're going to book an appointment for a consultation. But some of you have info products like RV and I do, and you can sell them from the front of the room. And RV, would you be comfortable sharing, like, what's the most revenue you've ever generated from well, let's start with this. What's a typical speech? If you're just doing just a regular old speech, kind of like your bread and butter, would usually generate about how much revenue?
Well, if it's before COVID, I would say easy $10,000 in one speech
Hmm.
because it's usually you could get at least five hot leads. These are people that are interested, and then you could close three of them. And so for me, that's almost 10 grand.
Hmm.
So that's easy. Nowadays, it's a little more challenging in the virtual world because people can't see you, they can't talk to you. You don't get that 30 minutes ahead of the meeting to really mingle and network and get to know them. And one of the secrets that I used to always do in the live world is if you go early and you participate, like they're doing some exercise, and you participate as a participant, the person you're with, they'll almost 100% buy from you. So in this world, it takes a lot more effort, takes a lot more energy, and it just doesn't quite work as well. So you have to bump up the quantity of people in that room to get the same results.
And what would you say, like, what's the most, like your biggest speech ever you brought in how much revenue?
$250,000.
Whoa, my gosh, wow. My biggest ever is 60,000, and I thought that was amazing. $250,000, and guys, in one speech, that is absolutely incredible.
It wasn't one speech. It was my 3-day $1 million speaker summit. But
okay, your 3-day conference brought in $250,000. That's incredible. Guys, the money can be huge, and once you learn how to speak, you have it forever.
Right.
And RV, I know there's some people right now and they're going, wow, I want to learn how to speak. RV, I'm telling all of you guys, she's in my view, she's the best how-to public speaking trainer on planet Earth. What's a way, RV, that people can either get in touch with you or they can get maybe a free course or get on your email list? What would you like them to do?
Okay. Well, 2 things. So one, I do have a free gift for anybody that wants it, and that is to go to my website, rvrobinson.com. That's spelled ARVEE, Robinson.com, /free closing script. Now that's a magnetic closing script that will generate leads, the hot sizzling leads that you want to make those appointments with and close for business. So that's one thing. And if you want to just reach out to me, then of course I'm on all social media platforms, or you can just email me at rvrobinson@rvrobinson.com. Before we leave this topic, I just want to mention podcasts for a second, because some people don't want to speak because either they feel like they don't look the part or whatever. So if you're in that category, and I even know some speakers that do podcasts that are bedridden. So I want to just give you the option in the idea of a podcast. Podcasts are bigger, and Eric can tell you this, podcasts are bigger than ever because you can listen to them. They're not invasive. And, so I encourage you, if you feel like you can't step on a stage for whatever reason, you can always be behind the scenes doing a podcast. Because again, remember, your message matters and people are just waiting to hear it.
Our theme today is you can do it. And what that means is you can get out there and speak. Maybe you've never thought about being a public speaker before, but you can go out there. You can use speaking to grow your business. You can do podcasts, Zooms, Facebook Lives, LinkedIn Lives, Instagram Lives. You can have a YouTube channel. You can publish your book on Amazon. I want you to know, RV wants you to know, you can do it. And RV, I want to talk for just a couple minutes about creating a course. And I know that you've generated a lot of money. It might even be in the millions now from courses that you have created. And you have, of course, an expertise in public speaking. But I think everybody watching this has an expertise in something. My expertise is in sales, so I created sales courses. So could you just speak to people and just tell them that they have a course inside of them and that they can do it, and just kind of how it's helped you in your career?
Absolutely. Yes, we all have a course inside of us that will serve people. Think of it this way. Think about, what are you passionate about and what are you knowledgeable about? And that, if they're together and aligned, then that's your course. So let me give you an example of what I mean. I love dogs. I just love dogs. I've had dogs all my life, but I can't create a course around them. I don't know anything about their physiology. I don't even know how to train them. I had to hire somebody to teach me how to train them. So that wouldn't be a good course. But I'm passionate about public speaking and knowledgeable about public speaking. So I created a course around that. I have an online course, how to create the 3 speeches you need, your elevator speech, your self-introduction, your signature talk, the closes, all of that. But I've also, since the pandemic, gone into teaching Zoom, teaching Facebook Live, because they're related, and then how to speak virtually, because those are the things I've been doing for years. I've been in Zoom in the virtual world since 2015, not knowing that all of you would join me one day. So what are you knowledgeable about, and what are you passionate about? And there is an audience that needs to hear that, and it's waiting.
And RV, prior to starting your company, had you ever owned a business before?
No, I've been in corporate America all my life. I knew nothing about, starting a business or being an entrepreneur.
So RV started a business, guys, from scratch. She built an email list. She built an audience. She created courses. Mm-hmm. She's authored a book. She has her own podcast. She has a YouTube channel. She's got all these pieces. And guys, she built it from scratch. Okay. If RV can do it and bring in millions of dollars, you can do it too. And sometimes it doesn't mean creating courses. It's just using speaking as a way to generate more leads, get more visibility out there. And sometimes it is creating courses. And I want to just talk about one other way that you and I both make money, and that is with coaching. And there's a lot of people that are watching this right now that expertise to create the course could also be an expertise to do one-on-one coaching and earn a great income talking to people over the phone or over Zoom. And so could you just talk a little bit about how cool it is just to be able to talk to people from your phone or Zoom, and it's just a great way to add value and also earn income?
Yes, it's way cool. In the beginning, that's all I offered was private one-on-one coaching. I didn't have workshops. I didn't have my big 3-day event. I didn't have masterminds or anything like that. So it's a great way to get started. But I continue to coach privately one-on-one today, because that's when you can laser focus with whatever your client needs and just focus on them and giving them, whatever it is they need. And the one thing, because I've gone through this, just like you, Eric, so many years, I end up coaching on more things than just speaking. I end up doing business coaching and how to integrate the speaking into the business and all kinds of different aspects, how to do that podcast, how to put on a webinar, how to use Zoom, how to change, whatever it is, whatever they need. It just seems like I've done it, I've been there, and I can now offer that service. And you can too. Just do it. You just have to start. You just have to start and just keep going. Oh, and the other thing I want to explain too, that aids to my success, is I've stayed in the same lane. Right? I picked the public speaking lane and I've stayed in that lane. I didn't go off and try to do some other business. I didn't pick up hitchhikers along the way, meaning, some of these companies that they say, hey, join my team and then give me referrals. I didn't do any of that. I just stayed in the same lane, steady as she goes. I might not have, in some cases I sped up, in some cases I might have slowed down, but I've stayed on the same track. And after 17 years, I'm still doing what I set out to do 17 years ago. I just happen to be better at it, and I have more products and services, but that public speaking is my lane.
So I want all of you to think about, what would it mean to you if you added public speaking to what you're currently doing, or if you're already speaking, you expanded it? What would it mean if you created your own course? What would it mean if you launched a coaching practice? You can do coaching on the side while you're doing whatever your core business is. RV is available to be your guide. She has a number of training programs available to coach and mentor you. In my world, she's the best how-to public speaking trainer in the world today, and you can connect with her. She's got that great free gift that she mentioned a little bit earlier. RV, before I share a couple of final thoughts about this show, anything that you want to share with all of our watchers and listeners today?
Yes, I do. I just want to encourage you to step out there, get trained, step out there. Your message is important. And we talked about getting clients a lot today, but you know what? Your words will make a difference in somebody's life. And we may, as speakers, not even know whose lives we changed or impacted. But when you find out, when they come back to you and they tell you, this is what happened, this is what you did for me, I mean, it is like so, so warming, so gratifying. It is like better than anything in the world. So just know you're impacting lives, even if people don't tell you. But when you get that one gem, that one time when someone tells you, it makes it all worth it.
Fantastic, RV. Well, great interview, great insights, very inspiring talk. I want to also thank all of you out there on the internet that are watching and listening. We're a brand new weekly internet radio show, and I would love it if you would help get the word out by sharing the show. It's every Monday. It's at noon California time in the Continuous Sales Improvement Sales and Success Club Facebook group. We also are on YouTube. We'll be streaming live on YouTube in the very near future. And you can also check us out at continuousssalesimprovement.com. Thanks again, RV, for doing just a great interview and sharing ideas. Our was you can do it, and RV and I, we want you to know we believe in you, and we want you to know you can do it. Thanks for watching, and we'll look forward to enjoying having you back, guys, back on the next show.